Your hands are steady. Your flashlight cuts through the darkness. You've done this 1,000 times. Waded into black water at midnight, tracked down a massive wild predator, and lived to tell about it. You're not afraid. You've never been afraid. And tonight, that confidence is about to cost you everything. Joe Wasilewski had dedicated his entire adult life to the American crocodile, one of the rarest and most misunderstood animals in North America. For 3 decades, he had caught, tagged, and released thousands of crocodiles across South Florida, often working alone with nothing but his hands, his knowledge, and his unshakable confidence. Joe wasn't a thrill seeker or a showman. He was a scientist who worked with the University of Florida's research programs, one of the most respected crocodile researchers in the country. His colleagues called him fearless. But the truth was simpler. Joe was genuinely comfortable with these animals. He understood them. He trusted them. Late in 2007, Joe and his research assistant headed out on what seemed like a routine night survey near Turkey Point in South Florida, the same stretch of canal Joe had worked dozens of times before. The mission was straightforward: spot crocodiles by their eye shine, document them, measure their size, and record the data. Joe spotted the eye shine almost immediately, a large crocodile resting near the canal bank. His assistant estimated the animal at well over 9 feet. Joe had caught bigger. He had caught hundreds of them. He reached for his noose pole and waded into the water. The water was chest deep and absolutely black. Joe moved slowly, deliberately, reading the water the way other men read a map. The crocodile hadn't fled. That was good. It meant the animal was calm, accustomed to being handled. Joe had learned over 30 years that crocodiles, like most wild animals, would tolerate human contact if approached with confidence and respect. Joe worked the noose pole with the precision of someone who had done it 10,000 times. The goal was to slip the noose around the animal's upper jaw, behind the eyes, where you could control the snout without injury. Once secured, the crocodile would become docile, exhausted from the struggle, unable to open its mouth, manageable. What happened next occurred in less than 5 seconds. The crocodile didn't just struggle, it death-rolled. It twisted its massive body with the full force of a 400-pound predator, wrapping around the pole, around Joe's arms. Joe fought to maintain control, but this animal was not behaving the way thousands of others had. This was not a calm, manageable creature. This was rage. Joe's research assistant screamed from the boat. The crocodile's tail whipped across the water with devastating force. Joe tried to back toward the boat, but the noose was tangled, twisted. The animal was pulling him deeper into the black water. Despite 40 years of experience, despite his absolute confidence in his ability to read these animals, something was catastrophically wrong. The assistant lunged for Joe's arm, but Joe was already being pulled under. The crocodile spun again, tighter, deeper. In the span of seconds, 30 years of field work, hundreds of successful captures, and absolute confidence in his own abilities became irrelevant. Nature doesn't negotiate. It doesn't offer second chances. Joe Wasilewski did not survive. His body was never recovered. The crocodile, the one he had been trying to capture, disappeared into the black water. His death sent shockwaves through the conservation community. The man who had safely handled more crocodiles than anyone alive had been killed by the animal he loved most. Joe's death changed how wildlife researchers approach crocodile handling in Florida. His story is not a cautionary tale about arrogance. It's a reminder that wild animals, no matter how well we think we understand them, remain wild. Confidence can save your life in the field, but overconfidence is the one mistake that crocodiles, snakes, bears, and the Everglades itself will never forgive. Like and follow this page to learn the true stories of those who worked with nature and what nature taught them in the end.